Hey everyone, it's Chris and Tanya from F Cube. We came up with the name F Cube for our business as it helps us to reinforce our why: family, friends, financial independence. We came up with a name at Subway, as we do with many of our big life decisions, sitting at Subway eating sandwiches.
One other day, we were sitting at Subway and we thought, how can we bring the stories from our business partners, our larger business community, to others and help understand the business that we work in? And so we thought, let's start F Cubed Connects. So over the next couple of weeks and months, we'll bring you stories from our business partners, the larger business community, about how they got started, why they got started in this online business, and some of the challenges that they may have faced as they got started. So join us, look back at some of the old recordings, and we look forward to sharing this information with you. Alrighty, everyone. So again, we're Chris and Tanya from F Cubed, and we started F Cubed Connects just to, again, bring you some of our business partners, talk about their experiences. And today is actually our first one, and we're thrilled to have Liza here.
First one.
Yay! The inaugural F Cubed Connects. Yes. So, Liza, maybe we'll just start with you introducing yourself, where you're from, what your heritage is, and we'll kick things off with that.
Hi, hello, Chris and Tanya. Yes, my name is Liza. I'm originally from South Africa. We decided to move to Australia about 3 years ago. So I'm living in Perth, and yeah, I'm a wife, a mom of 3 beautiful children, and that is me.
Awesome. I suspect that answer will lead into the next question, which is, what is really your big passion in life, and why is that important to you?
Well, my children and my husband is my big passion in life. They give me hope, and I would always say I would love to stay with my children. I've got a boy that I'm homeschooling, and well, to be with him is really a privilege, and to help my girls. I've got 2 girls and a boy. You can relate with that. My girls are studying, and to help them with their studies at uni. So yes, that is my passion in life. It's my family.
Awesome. And so you didn't mention working. You're obviously homeschooling your son. Would you consider yourself a job quitter? Are you working outside of the home at all, or just focusing on your family right now?
No. Well, when we arrived in South Africa, we had our own business, and I run a business. So when we moved to Australia, well, I applied for jobs. Then I've got all those nice questions and answers, and they said, "Oh no, you're too old, or you're not technical savvy enough," and all those type of stuff. And so I said, "Oh goodness, what I'm going to do?" So yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and it was very hard for me because, like, if you've got your own business, you're working every day, and it's like a 9 to 5, and sometimes it's later than 5. So it's all the hours actually. So if you work for yourself, you work very hard. So yeah, when I came to Australia and now I've got nothing to do, I feel I'm a letdown for my family. My husband's the only provider, and there's
I can see that. I can relate to that in terms of, like, when I was on mat leave, and here in Canada, we're actually able to split parental leave. And so when we had Jackson, our son, I took parental leave, I took maternity leave, and I felt kind of the same way. I'm not myself. I don't have something to drive me in what I'm doing every day. And I found that really challenging. So I can imagine kind of having done that for so long and then moving to a new country and just being like, well, what do I do now? And I know you kind of felt the same when you had Lily. You took more parental leave than with Jackson.
Yeah, we're entitled to a year or just over a year.
12 to 18 months.
12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
And we can split it in sort of whatever quantities we want. I think with Lily, I did a little bit more. 6 months.
Yeah.
Which I think for me, having 6 months off with my kid was great. And then I kind of realized that I wanted more of that. And then when COVID hit and everything shut down, it was
Not what you signed up for.
I'm sort of like, well, yeah, I got what I wanted, and then I kind of want to do back to work. And then when I went back to work, I realized I missed it. So it's this sort of back and forth of, the kids are getting bigger, and you just realize what's important, I think, and working every day for somebody else on their schedule and asking for permission to live your life or go on vacation, it's just life's too short. It's too short. So I think
Life is too short.
yeah, we always had this calling to kind of do our own thing and live life on our own terms, and sort of we found this, and this is sort of no turning back. I mean, how did you? What made you, or when did you find this, and what made you sort of take the leap?
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I said, we had our own business. So one day I was scrolling on Facebook and I've got the message of, I've got like a advert, and I said, oh, wow, this looks interesting. Let's see what's going on here. And so I pushed that button and I see, wow, this is quite easy. Maybe I can do this. And I took that leap and I said, well, listen, people, I don't have any qualifications for this. I don't have anything needed for this. I can do it. I can try it. If you can put a computer on, you can push the on button and you can talk and you can read, then you're all good. So I decided, well, let's take a chance and let's do this.
I mean, that was sort of our reaction too. I mean, we fell into it just like everyone else falls into this. They see an ad, they get curious, and then they see a little bit more, and they think, I really want all the details. And then they get the details, and it's either one or the other at that point. You're like, nope, it's not for me. You're like, I think I can do this. And you just kind of take the leap of faith and you decide to go all in. And we haven't done anything really like this. We've both been in sales and project management type positions. So, there's that, but I mean, the online stuff is it's a different world. Trying to do the internet marketing type thing. It's but you see how many like just normal everyday people are just crushing it. Realizing that if you're just consistent and you stay enthusiastic and you stay positive, good things are going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
You can do anything if you put your head to it. If you put your mind and your head to it, you can do anything. Anything is possible. It's only you. You are your biggest problem. If you can say, I can't do it, then well.
What do you say? Whether you say you can, whether you think you can or you can't, you're always right.
Yes.
That's Henry Ford. That's a Henry Ford thing.
All the time.
But yeah, and when you think you can't, we've got the team and who, will say, no, you can.
You can.
And we're gonna.
Well, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for you two as my mentors to give me the chance and with all the questions and all the support. So yeah.
I always say there's no need for someone to reinvent a wheel. So if we've faced a challenge and from yourself and other team members, we get tons of questions, how do I do this? Like, I can't figure it out. I'm like, oh, it's just this little tweak and then it's there and everyone gets it and understands. So why have you guys struggle through the things that we were banging our heads against the wall if we can simply help? There's no reason at all.
The answers are everywhere. You just got to go get them.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's nothing that's going to be a barrier that we can't get over one way or the other together. So that's the way you got to approach it.
I'm not really tech savvy, and you guys help me when I struggle with something, and I sent you a message and said, listen, just do that and do that, and boom, it was right and fixed. So yes, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. No, knowledge sharing, right? I mean, Tanya is good at that stuff, and she passes it on. She loves to share her knowledge, and
that's good.
Yeah.
As you got started, or as you were thinking about getting started, did you have any fears that you had to overcome from yourself, or even, I know when Chris came to me with the idea, he faced a fairly staunch wall. And I'm wondering kind of what your experience was, that both within yourself, okay, this looks interesting. What are my fears? But then as you brought it perhaps to your partner, your husband, and what were what did you experience going through that part?
Well, first of all, English is my second language. So that was my main fear. Will the people understand me with my with my accent that I've got? And will I be able to do it? Will I be able to be successful in this? And will I have the courage to speak to, let's say, other people online? So I was very fearful of that. But yes, I'm thinking I'm getting ease of it. I will getting better, and I'm trying. So yeah. I think it will get better.
We've had zero difficulty understanding.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
to say
I didn't realize that English wasn't your first language.
I think Afrikaans. Is it Afrikaans? Is more the
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm Afrikaans. Yeah, Afrikaans speaking.
Yeah.
It's zero issue there. I mean, and we see that in our community, people from all over the world, and
everywhere.
Even some of our larger community Zooms, I've had way more difficulty trying to follow some of the people, especially I think some of the people from the Philippines and stuff who maybe have harder accents, and it's but yeah, it's for everybody. You're doing just fine.
No, it's awesome. That's good. I know when we first met, we met one of your daughters, but I guess who have you found support from, or who have you found supported you as you got things started and helped you maybe overcome some of the barriers besides Chris and myself, of course?
Okay. Well, my husband and my girls and my boy, they helped me a lot. My one daughter that you saw with me the one time that we talked, she's a technical one. With my oldest one, she's a teacher, so yeah, they helped me a lot with that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really tech savvy, but with those girls, they in the millennium ones. So they're always on social media and so on. So they help me a lot. Say, no, Mom, that's not too difficult. Let's try this. And my husband always encouraged me, said, listen, you've got this. We can do it. With God, all things are possible. You can do it. You've got the strength.
Absolutely. And I know that your church and your beliefs are really important to you. And you and I have talked a little bit about kind of what you named your company and what values you have there. I think it's a fascinating drive that you have. And I'd love to talk and dig more into that in terms of like what you decided to name your company and your website.
Yes, okay. Well, my company's name is Living Leap 1031. The 1031 is actually a scripture. It's a thanksgiving of the Lord. It's not really a thanksgiving, but you can do all things. And yes, if you take a leap, if you just go and God will take your hand and he will guide you and he will show you the way. So the scripture is actually says, it's in 1 Chronicles 10:31. That's 1 Chronicles. So whatever you eat or drink, do it in the will of God and he will give you the strength to do it. So that is actually, that is what I based my business on. So if you work hard and you do anything hard and you do it good, and just do it in the will of God and he will help you and everything will be okay.
That's really interesting because we talk a lot about like mindset and how just having the belief in yourself that you can do this, and whatever energy in the environment is able to then help and support you in that. And it's something that we've done a lot of kind of personal work on ourselves in terms of, giving up those limiting thoughts and saying to yourself, to your point, like the thing that I don't want to do the most is probably the thing that I need to do the most to help kind of move us forward. And so it's a really, I've never heard the scripture myself, and that it chills down my back when you read it. So
we've gone through a number of things.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say we've gone through a number of things in the past where you realize as soon as you start to take ownership for where you are in life and where you are in the universe, once you do that, the God, the universe, however, starts to open up doors for you that you
Yeah.
would have thought would have
That
been
is true.
closed or never possible.
Yeah.
So
When one door, when there's one door that closes, there's always another one that opens. And yeah, just keep faith. And well, not every day is a good day, but when you wake up and you say, thank you, Lord, for another day, it's going to be a good day today, even if you don't feel like it. But you prophesied it's going to be a good day, then it will be a good day. So if you say it with your mouth, your head will definitely go into it and say, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, that connection is amazing.
That mindset.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally mindset. Like I know when we first started, Chris was working full time, I was working full time, and we were, I say, presented with the opportunity for Chris to take this on full time. And to your point, it was a door closing and then us realizing there was a door wide open in front of us, and we just had to be strong enough and brave enough to walk through. And that it was a leap of faith, absolutely, but one we've never looked back from. It was, to me, it was energizing to be able to say, yeah, let's dive in and have Chris do this full time and fulfill the dream that you had.
we've always sort of tried to break the mold in just about anything we do.
You'll learn that as we go.
As you get to know us, you'll know that we kind of don't do things the normal way or the easy way or
the slow way.
And a lot of people sort of step back and be like, what is wrong with these two?
These two
Or
are nuts.
a lot of people would comment and be like, we could never do what you just did. It's like, we didn't think so either. We just wanted to see if we put the effort, could we make it work? And, you know.
Well, if I can tell you a scary part, my scariest moment was when we decided to come overseas, left everything behind. I mean, like literally everything behind in South Africa. We just moved over with 8 suitcases and our 5, and that was that. And we came over and said, okay, Lord, this is going to be a new thing for us. So that was the most difficult thing for us. So I totally understand.
All 5 of you.
All 5 at once in the middle of COVID, the last flight out from South Africa to Australia. And we were being escorted with police because we're immigrants and everything into isolation. So that was quite scary. So online business sounds scary. Sometimes it will be scary, but it's not that scary. There's no police or escorts or anything. And you've got your support with your family. So yes, you can do it. Anything is possible.
Oh my goodness. That's that I can't even imagine.
Perspective right there.
Totally. Leaving all that you know and the country that, had you lived in South Africa your whole life? You'd not lived abroad.
Yes. No.
And just trusting in God to help you.
Yeah, we just decided, listen, maybe let's go to let's leave South Africa. Let's go overseas for a better future for children. And I mean, in South Africa, my 2 girls wouldn't even think of going to a university because it wasn't there for them. And both of them are in university. They're doing their university, and my boy is doing his thing. So it's definitely a better future for us.
Yeah.
Well, I miss my country. Yes, I do. Do I miss my family? All of them are still there. My husband's family is there. And but it's a better future for us here overseas.
Amazing. Can I ask why you chose Australia? I'm just wondering. I backpacked there myself and fell in love with the country, but I'm just curious as to the reason.
My husband got a job, and we'll be straight. He's an instrument. What else? He's an instrument technician. So we came over with his qualifications. So that's when we decided, okay, it was highly in demand at that stage. And so, yes, that's why we choose Australia. But who would know? Maybe sometimes we don't know. Maybe one of these days, the Lord maybe could change us, send us different ways. We don't know whether another door will be open, but I can definitely tell you, in 2012, we were here on holiday in Perth,
Okay.
and it was nice and it was beautiful, and said, listen, let's put that wheel on the road. Let's go for it. Let's try and see if we can do it. So that was already started in 2012. And we only came over in 2020, so it was a long time.
Yeah, I backpacked around Australia in 2005, and I started in Perth. That was where my journey started, and I did all over. But most tourists don't make it to Perth, which is kind of interesting. That I loved Western Australia. It was stunning and beautiful, and
The weather
drastic.
is definitely the same as South Africa. It's
Mhm.
similar. So I think that's why the most South African people
Mm.
decided to come to Perth.
Yep.
So yes.
Nice. That's amazing. Amazing.
I've never been. It's on my
No.
list.
Yes. It was
It's on my
top
list.
of my bucket list when I graduated. I had to go. I had to cuddle a koala bear, as every tourist needs to, but I came to appreciate the country a lot more than koala bears and kangaroos.
I mean, now we can go and call it a business
I
trip.
know, it's perfect. We have all these reasons to travel the world now to see our team. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. So those are benefits for us. We get to travel the world and see our team. What have you experienced any benefits from the business yourself? I know you've just started with us, gosh, a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago now.
A month and a half, yes.
Amazing.
So, I mean,
yeah.
first impressions, I
Yeah.
guess, or
Any benefits? What have
things that you're
what
excited
have the
about.
last 6 weeks given you, brought you?
Well, to be your own boss and to have the flexibility, I think that is the main thing. You can do your own, I mean, you can make your own schedule. It's not like a 9 to 5 and ask the boss, listen, my kid is sick, can I go home? Or might I have the day off or something like that? You can just do as you wish. If you decided, listen, I'm going to start at 9 a.m. with my business, then you start at 9 a.m. And tomorrow, 9 a.m. is not working for you. Maybe 1 is working, but you can work till late. Then you decide. You're fully your own boss. You can do your own decisions. You don't have to ask anyone anything. As long as you've got your email, your laptop, Wi-Fi, you good. You can go on. So that's
And I
your
find
main.
with the training the way it is, it's so step by step and systematic. You have a
Yes.
plan, you have a process. You're not twiddling your thumbs trying to figure out what to do. You do have to be
No.
disciplined when you're when nobody's watching you and you don't have a supervisor or a wife who steps in and says, "Are you being productive?" And you're like,
What are you doing today?
yeah,
I see scroll,
kind of,
scroll, scroll.
you know,
I'm communicating with people.
I'm doing research on social media, but no, I think the training helps, but being disciplined, of course, is the big thing. But once you have that done, you're absolutely right. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. I often will take a break in the morning and play with the dog in the backyard. And, if I want to go see a movie in the middle of the day when it's not busy, I'll go do that and make up the time later.
He wants more business partners in London so that he can have people to go see movies with.
I mean, yeah. I need to have more people that have the same schedule, then we can
have the flexibility.
But
well, we talked about it on the weekend. It's summer here in Canada, so kids are off from school, and we took the kids to Niagara Falls. Somewhat impromptu. I had some extra days left over from vacation days, and I was encouraged to take them. And we had points from me traveling, and I said, let's take the kids to Great Wolf Lodge, which is this ginormous indoor water park that the kids could go play at. And we looked at each other one night when the kids were dead asleep because the day was awesome. And we said, if Chris was working full time, we would never have been able to do this. We would have had to stay home because he didn't have as many vacation days as I did. And we used them for things previously. But with this, we booked it. He didn't ask permission. We brought everything with us. While the kids passed out at 6 o'clock, we were able to kind of pluck away and work at things because it's illegal for us to leave them in their hotel room by themselves. So we were able to work on things and then get up in the morning and spend and focus our time on them. And that was one thing that I hadn't really fully appreciated the flexibility that this was giving us.
I mean, plus with the attraction marketing bit, you're documenting your life to show
Mhm.
other people how you live and what's possible. So
Yeah.
now everything you do becomes content. So you're always looking for the fun things to do. And
Mhm.
it kind of
Yeah,
encourages you
that's
to go out and enjoy life a little bit
Yeah.
more because you get to show
enjoy
other.
the nature. That's true.
Yeah, we were again in Niagara Falls and we saw all these helicopters flying over and it was almost constant. And we said, that would be so cool. And Jackson said, I'm not going in a helicopter. And we've actually taken him in a helicopter before. And we said, no, bud, like, let's go. It'll be so much fun. And they got to sit in the front of the helicopter and go. And we were in the back and it was awesome. And it was like, let's just do it. Take that chance and be able to make the memories with the kids. I think that's the one thing that we
And
hold
memories will last forever.
forever, and they still talk about it. The next day they woke up and immediately, can we go on the helicopter again? I'm like, no, wait.
It's a
All that.
it's a little expensive.
Too much.
That was
But-
that was a one time.
Yeah, that was a one time on this trip. We're not doing that again. But
But it's funny, I lived in Niagara Falls for
Mhm.
4 years growing up as a kid, and I showed my mother some of the pictures. Like, oh, that's so great! You never got to do that when you were there. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Mhm. And the same like me growing up, we didn't do family vacations. It wasn't something that my parents did. They both owned their own businesses. My dad owned his own real estate appraisal business and my mom worked for herself. But they were so focused on making money where I think,
Yes.
we've obviously called our company F cubed and we focus on our why. And the reason we called it F cubed was we wanted to remind ourselves every day that we wanted to focus on our family, on our friends, but in doing that,
Yes.
build some financial independence. And that is our why. And so it's not that we
I
want
think that is
yeah,
I think that is everybody's why supposed to be.
I hope
To
so.
focus on your family and
Yeah.
to be financial free. I mean, everything is skyrocketing and everything is so expensive these days. And I mean, if you've got a business and you need to go and purchase a place and rent a structure to do your business from, is that month to month expenses that you need to do. But you've got an online business, you can do it from home, and it's not necessary for you to pay, like I said, a monthly rental or pay other people to do the work. You're your own boss. You can do it yourself, and you really get free. And like you said, you can make some memories with your children. And children is the future. And I mean, if you put good memories into them now, they will have that memories for a lifetime.
Absolutely. It's funny. We have a close friend of ours who has a brick and mortar store and he's recently moved it to be closer to his family and made choices that were right for his family. But it's for him, he's had to think outside the box. And because his normal clientele was very seasonal, they would only come in the winter. And so all summer he was sitting there going, what do I do? How do I continue to pay rent and all these things? Where what we've experienced is that there can be some seasonality to this, but because it's an online business and we get to market to the whole world, we just shift to the Southern Hemisphere when it's our summer. If we want to look for people who may be more inclined to join the business in the winter when they have more time, or if it's more summer related, then we can switch, it opens up the world. And we were talking on the weekend as well, with a brick and mortar store, you hold the key, and to have your store open, you have to be there to unlock that door every day. We take that key with us in our computer, our phone, wherever the internet is, and we can open our store from wherever and whenever.
Even better, it's working in the background.
Yes.
So it's working while
The
we're
automation.
sleeping.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a little bit further ahead in the process, but when you wake up in the morning and realize you have 75 leads, and you're like, I get to start my day doing that instead of trying to find people to talk to. You realize you just had 50, 60 people already express interest while you were sleeping.
Yeah.
So it's
And in the background,
That
the
is
automation
amazing.
and the systems have
amazing.
sent their first email to say, hey, come watch the webinar to learn more, and I'm sure Lisa's saying, I dream of the day that I wake up to 75 leads, but it will come. I
Yeah,
promise.
I'm definitely dreaming of that too. I can't wait. So yes,
Right,
it will
right.
come, definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're well on your way there.
it's not an if, it's a when. And
Absolutely.
you'll be busier than you
Yes.
know it.
We've talked a lot about kind of what our journey's been. Is there any advice that you would give to someone aspiring to become an entrepreneur if they're looking to get started in the online space? What would be your message to them?
Well, first of all, take the first step. Take a chance. And you are the only one that could change your life. You're the only one that can change your future. And if you're not prepared to take that first step, then it won't work. But you need to take the first step.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I feel like you really have to be in that place where you want to change, and just,
Yes.
going about it half-heartedly is not the way. If you're going to do it, we usually burn the ships, or take that all-in approach.
It's a mind shift. It's
Absolutely.
definitely a mind shift. You just have to shift your mind and say, listen, get your there's a saying that say, get your gears together. So your head is your gears. So get your gears together and just make that shift, and everything will be fine. You will see. You just need to push yourself.
And I don't think waiting for everyone says, I need to wait for the perfect moment. It's not the right time. There's never.
If you're going to wait for a perfect moment, you will never do it. So, I mean, if you, let's say, for instance, this morning you wake up and you don't feel like getting out of bed, but you have to. I mean, if you don't take that first step out of the bed, then you will stay the whole day in bed. But if you've got something that motivates you and you said, listen, I've got to do this. I've got a responsibility to my husband or your wife or your children. And then if you've got a goal to go for, and say, listen, I can do this. I'm a go-getter, so let's do it. So take it and just take that leap of faith and just do it. Get out of the boat like I did. I get out of the boat. Make a change. Because the world's not going to change for you. You need to change your own world.
We talk about that all the time in terms of there's been jobs we've been in that we've not been happy in. And we've literally, when we moved to London, we both had left our jobs that we weren't happy in. We signed a mortgage with no job and we moved to a city, obviously that I had been from, but it was like, no one's going to change or make this better for me. We need to take back control. And we have acquaintances and things that would be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, take the bull by the horns, as we say, and, make your own future and take back control of your life. And I feel like that's.
Yeah, it's so tired of hearing the victim mindset from a lot of people and saying, oh, I can't do it because of this. Like, again, that expression, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So, pick one, pick the hard, pick the version of hard that you want. Is the hard complaining about your job that you don't like and the boss you can't get along with? Or is the hard, I'm trying to build something for myself that's meaningful, that I really enjoy, that could take me places in 5 years that I would never imagine? Pick your hard. Which one do you want?
Well, my dream is definitely for my husband to join me one day. So like Chris, you changed Tonya's heart, so I'm going to change my husband's heart as well and come and join me on this business as well.
I wish you luck, and I hope it wasn't as difficult as it was. No, it was. I was a private investigator. I understand fraud and scams and due diligence, and I put the time in to make sure that this was legit. I'm glad I did, but I knew that having that information, I would need to be armed and be ready to make a business case to the scientist here, who has a very fine-tuned scientific method of carving out the BS of things, shall we say. But I also knew that as much as she would be the first kind of reality check, getting her on board would just make this all that much better. So
Absolutely.
The sooner you can, when the time is right. We see so many couples doing this job, and it seems to enrich everybody. So it's It's always better to do something together, and her skills complement the things that I don't like to do
Right.
that much. So it makes for good teamwork
Like
that
math.
way.
He doesn't do
Well,
math.
my one daughter said, she said, Mom, I'm definitely going to do this. Why would I want to go to work? Why do I want to go to a 9 to 5? Says if I can do it online, I could do my studies and I can do this as well. So she's going to
Yeah.
jump on board as well. So yeah.
What was
Kids.
what was the thing that you said the other day? I made a post about it. It was stop asking your kids what they want to be when they grow up and start asking them what problems they want to solve. And I was like, and wanting to instill in them the entrepreneurial mindset rather than the employee mindset, and like give them the skills and the life skills and technical skills to be able to, I guess, have that confidence in themselves that they can do it. And to me, that's, I mean, ours are 4 and 6. And to me, that's already something that
Yeah. But that's the
is
time
so
where you have
important.
to start ingraining those sort of values.
Yeah.
And, don't necessarily follow the herd because that's what everyone tells you to do.
Right.
I think there's a paradigm shift happening where people realize that the old formula of going to school and getting a good job and spending lots of time and showing stability, that's,
And staying in the same job for 50 years. I mean,
people are realizing now that
that's
they
it.
have options.
Mhm.
And
They missed a lot. They really missed a lot of stuff. So, I mean, they can't go to holiday or on holidays. They can't go visit family or friends or something. And it's, sorry, I can't do this. I need to do that. So, if you take the leap and you change your mindset, you change your will, then your whole world is changing. And it's
I
a
think to
better
be good
future
at
for children.
exactly. I think to be good at being an entrepreneur, you still need to be able to limit the distractions. And if your friends are all about going to the bar and wasting time doing unproductive things, and you have
Wasting
to,
money and yes.
yeah, you have to be disciplined and
And
have
focus.
drive and focus and that kind of thing. But yeah, if our kids want to be the 9 to 5 employee thing, as long as they love what they're doing, have at it. But I think,
Mhm.
again, I'd rather see them focus on bigger societal issues and find ways to solve it and be innovative than just finding a job because it's what someone told them they need to do. And
I think carving their own path
yeah,
to do what they want to do and letting them choose. I know Lily, our little one, she's 4. We joke that she is probably one of the most stubborn, strong-willed humans, not children, humans, I know. And everyone says, oh, it will serve her well. And I totally 100% agree. And she comes by it honestly, quite honestly.
we try not to crush it. We
No,
want to nurture it, but
Yes.
sometimes it just,
because it will serve her so well. And I know that it will because it serves me well. But I'm like, she has to live. I have to not strangle this little one. But it's that drive that I see in her that I'm so hopeful for her future to be able to carve her own path and do whatever she wants, however she wants. You talked about your job in South Africa and people being like, well, you're a woman. Why would you be selling me car parts? Because you can. And
Yes.
I want that for her.
It's not a man world. It's everyone can do anything. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. Yes.
Absolutely.
Sonia comes from a very male dominated industry, and
Absolutely.
she's established herself as
Yeah.
somebody who has a deep expertise. And
Yeah.
every time she goes to a conference, she's getting job offers from competitors that she has to politely decline. But it's yeah.
But it's a fun world to kind of explore that and see that and build that confidence in yourself that you can do it. But it's interesting because the skills that I learn in my normal job, 100% I apply here, even though it's completely different. I do sales and marketing for medical research equipment. In what world is that the same as what we're doing in attraction marketing? But oh my God, the skills that are so transferable. And relating to people, like to me, that's
fair.
That is the most transferable skill that we can build. So although Liza, you mentioned you came into this without a lot of technical background, I mean, you're building your own business, but you're building yourself at the same time. You're building your skills, your abilities that are all transferable to everywhere in life. And and you're building your own confidence and building that back up, that you have value to your family. You're helping contribute to the financial income of your family, and hopefully your husband is a job quitter one day and can come join you. That's like so exciting.
That'll be so
I love
exciting.
the job quitter and like how we celebrate job quitters.
Yeah.
I think it's the best. Because yeah,
No
I
more
think
traffic anymore. So yes.
oh, the commute. Oh my God. We both used to live in Toronto, and it's the reason we chose to move back to London is because we were spending 3 hours a day commuting. As I
Yes.
know that you spend a tremendous amount of time with your family, driving them around, and we don't spend that amount of time with our kids outside of school and daycare now. So if we were still in Toronto with our family the way it is now, the time we'd have with our kids is in the car driving, and that isn't the life
You'd be living the
wanted.
5 to 9 lifestyle instead of the 9 to
Not
5.
okay.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Yeah. It
So,
just
yeah.
wouldn't work. But now, as I said, their school is 8 houses away. We can walk to school and I can pick
And
them
Chris
up.
can
And,
walk them to school and pick them up.
if we have extracurriculars in London, I mean, with traffic to get from one end of the city to the other, maybe half an hour at the most. Like
and that's not a bad day.
that's not a bad
with
day with
construction.
snow and whatever else you can think of. But it's not a bad deal at all.
No, it's
Some of the
amazing.
people that have lived here for a long time complain about it, but when we lived in Toronto, again, if you left your house 15 minutes late, your commute would triple.
Yeah,
So
easy.
you had to get on the road before everyone else did, or
Easy.
otherwise you.
That's
Yeah.
awful.
So we love it.
Yeah.
We love it. And
No.
it's all about, again, lots of people were like, why are you moving? Don't do that. It's like, listen, no, this isn't, we don't live our life by committee. This is not, we're not going to go and ask our neighbors what's the most sensible thing to do and then do that. That's not, no,
It's for us.
Yeah, it's for us.
Absolutely.
It's our life. So
Okay.
I hope, we're glad that you saw the light and you took a chance, and we're
Yes.
super excited to go on the journey with you. And
So
I think anyone else that's looking to do this, they just need to stop making excuses and stop waiting for the right time, as you said, and just have a leap of faith in themselves and the system. And
Liza, if you could
Yeah.
tell yourself, your prior self, one thing, what would it be?
why didn't I do it sooner? Why didn't I take the leap sooner? Why I can do it. So yes, I must do it sooner. If I could, where would I be if I did it sooner? If I did it sooner, I mean, maybe I could be a mentor to someone if I did it sooner. And yes, I'm really disappointed in myself that I didn't find this much more earlier in my life, because I would have been more financial free. And I think please take that leap and go for it.
one of the things that we remind ourselves is that the expression that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in a year, but underestimate what we can accomplish in 5.
Mhm.
That
And
is
if I look back at my life in the last 5 or 6 years, or just before meeting Tanya, my life was very, very different. And if you had told me that within 5 or 6 years, I would be where I am now, I would think you were on some exceptionally powerful drugs. You probably not operate heavy machinery, but this is
drive a vehicle.
yeah, but it was yeah. You have no idea what you can accomplish if you drive with purpose and direction and you actually put in the effort. And it's yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see where we are, in a few years from now. And when we look back at the video, we're going to be like, oh, that was such a terrible video. How did I ever do that with my hair? Why did I think that was a good idea? But no, it's going to be fun to go back and look at it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, in the beginning of the year, everyone is making plans for the new year, new revolutions and everything, and new plans for the new year. And myself and my husband, we sit and said, listen, 2023, we're not going to end 2023 the same way that we ended 2022. It's going to be something different. It's going to be a change. Definitely going to be a reset, a restore, and a rejoice in our lives. And I think this new online business of ours, this is going to be our reset, restore, and I'll rejoice for it.
So do you know when we started and became business owners?
New Year's.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Literally, we're having a New Year's Eve party, and Chris is like, "Come here, come here, come here. We got to sign the contracts. We got to do this. We're gonna be business owners." And like, not like an hour before midnight struck.
Of course, I'm like so on
business owners.
fire on it. Meanwhile, we're hosting people, and Tanya's busy trying to like organize hors d'oeuvres and keep people watered.
Be my little marionette of food and drink.
And
That's
I'm
what I
just
do.
like, sign the paperwork. And she's like, I will stab you with this kitchen fork if you don't leave me alone. And it was,
But we were also likewise determined that how we entered 2023 or ended 2022 was not going to be our legacy. For sure.
I was determined. I
Well,
still had to like drag you along.
He had to inform me that this is.
Yeah, I
I
had to plan that this was not going to be the same and that we were changing
Chris,
it
you
up.
were the bold one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had to kind of drag her kicking and screaming,
Absolutely.
but once she
Like
kind of got on
the
board,
Yeah.
she runs with it though.
It was interesting though to see, because I would say when we signed on New Year's Eve, I wasn't confident that I was still skeptical. I still had tons of fears when we started, but I could see Chris's excitement. I could see his conviction to it. And and in the months leading up to that, I had seen Chris just hate being an employee anymore, and just that he was so driven to make this change, and that he had done the work to find something that he thought was right was sufficient for me to say, you know what, let's take a chance. And then as we've gone through this over the past 8-9 months, jumped on board full throttle.
And she's like a laser guided missile when you put a target in front of her, and she's just like, I'm doing this, and you need to get out of my way. So there's
Jump on board or get out of the
yeah,
way.
and there are some days where I walk out on the patio and she's got her head down on her laptop. I was like, no, I'm gonna go away, because she's focused, and if I take that focus away, it's not. Yeah, bad things happen.
Yeah.
You have to let her just kind of work it out and get her done. But
Yeah,
it's been fun working on it together.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely. We used to stare like blankly at a TV screen watching whatever Netflix show of the day we were binging, and now we haven't turned on the TV in a while, and it's more we spend our time together brainstorming new ideas, talking about what could work. And to me, it's really built our relationship. You talked about your husband and yourself celebrating your 25th anniversary, and you went out alone, and what is that, and what do you talk about? And it's interesting because it was kind of the same. We talk about the kids all the time, whatever, but this is something that we do together that we can build our relationship further with it as well. And I love it. I think it's great.
I think it's great that your daughter sees it as an opportunity for her, and something that you guys can work on. And we've seen a lot of people in this business where it becomes a family venture.
Absolutely.
Where once the kids are older, they then start up their own version of it, and it's
Right.
Yeah, so definitely a legacy thing, and we've seen that when you when you start moving up through the system and through the ranks, I guess it makes it very attractive to have everybody on board. Everybody has their own businesses and they're merging it together, and you get to replicate success. But
you use the word legacy, and I'm wondering, Liza, what legacy do you want to leave behind, and how do you hope that you're able to affect other people's lives, both your family and others?
Well, to be example for my children, I would like to be example for my children, to tell them, dream big, go big, just dream, to help other people to see there is another way out. And it's not only the 9-to-5 job that is the only one. The everyday life, for these days, everything is online. You do shopping online. Your groceries are ordered online if you feel like it. You don't have to go to the shop. So why do you have to go to work if you can do it online? So take that leap of faith, be different in other people, and do something different. So Go online, do online business, take the leap
What's-
and
What's the
us.
phrase that you say? If you help others achieve their goals, you'll really never want for anything. And I think that's something that of course, we want our own financial independence. Of course we do. But I think being able to help others achieve that for themselves
Yes.
and see their life change.
There's a bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is more than just our financial independence for us. We really see this as an opportunity to help so many other people change their lives. And to me,
Yes.
That's where I think
that's my driving force.
being a coach sort
Mhm.
of is the kind of the next logical step. And we see with our coaches that how they're now more focused on just developing other people rather
Mhm.
than trying to develop their own business, because they
Mhm.
know when their team wins, everybody wins. And
Yeah.
we've even seen some other people who have started their own foundations to help
Yeah.
the less fortunate. Like,
Yeah.
just the things you can do with this business
Yeah.
transcends more than just your own financial needs. It's
Yeah.
being able to serve your community and people donating to their church and making a lasting impact in their communities. I mean, that's where, imagine if like 5 years from now, you can help build wells in like poor parts of Australia or give back to South
Go back
Africa,
to South Africa and help.
and do that and improve the lives of people. Like, that's the legacy type stuff that gets really exciting. And there's no limit to
I
it.
feel if you put let's say for instance, you throw a rock into a pond and it makes, that is you. You have that rock that makes the first ripple, and then that ripple will represent other people and it will help other people. So don't just see it as a one-time thing. It's going to be a legacy. It's going to be a bigger thing. It's going to be bigger than you. So it's me, my family, other people's family, word to mouth, and make a change.
Be the rock. Be the rock that you throw into the pond.
Yeah, and solve some big problems.
Absolutely.
Use this as a vehicle to solve big problems. I mean, it's
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, with that, Liza, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you being our inaugural guinea pig on FCube Connects. And we look forward to revisiting this a few years from now and just kind of looking back at those memories and expanding on kind of and updating where we are then.
It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Tonya. May you have a wonderful evening, and thanks for your time, and thanks for all your encouragement. Much appreciated.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you, Liza. It's awesome to have you on the team.